You guys think?
Well, in my mind, I see these guys in practice every day, and I know how competitive they are. And Sterling Brown leads us in that category, and the rest of us feed off of it. And Coach Jank looked at me because Sterling, he started off the game really slow, and Coach looked at me and he's like, "We're gonna be all right," and I said, "We are." And when there was that score, I knew Sterling was gonna get us going, and he did.
Ben Amelagu, too, got you going. Had a three that started that run.
Yeah, he had a big-time game. Big-time game.
Yeah, 11 points for Ben. He doesn't always get the point total like he did, but he does things at the other end, too, and he came up with a big defensive play. He's a guy who seems like he's just solid at both ends of the floor for you.
Yeah, Ben is really solid. Like I said, in practice, we've seen him. He can score like the other guys at times when he wants to. We've seen him in practice, be the best scorer on the floor. So he did a heck of a job and did a lot of little things for us to help us win.
But 21-2, you didn't see that run coming, did you?
No, I didn't. I didn't know it'd be 21-2, but I promise you, I knew we were gonna make a run. 'Cause I know how competitive they are.
Hey, you talked about Sterling Brown. We talked to him on the post-game show after the game. I had talked to him also prior to the first Cincinnati meeting up there, which was exactly a month prior. And guys like him, especially, he's 4 years in it here. He's seen all the games we have played with Cincinnati since joining the league. That was really important to him yesterday.
Oh, no question. Especially, when we went there. If you watch that game, he missed a big shot at the end of the game. And I've been with Sterling all 4 years here, and after that game, he had a tear in his eye, and I've never seen him like that in my life. And I knew that he was going to play really good yesterday.
You got to like seeing guys like him and Ben that are 4 years in, and even all your new guys, though, the newer guys, I guess, of the team, the buy-in from this group to win 18 out of 19 and have so many things seemingly against them early in the season. The buy-in is incredible with this group, it seems.
Oh, no question. And Nick Moore and Marcus and Yannick and all those guys started it, and Ben and Sterling are the winningest guys, I think, here. And they rubbed off on our new guys, our sophomores, and they've done a heck of a job with that.
You look at the big picture much about what a win like that means for this team, not just this week getting up a little higher in the rankings, but down the road too when you start to look at the postseason resume?
Yeah, we do, but we more want to take it game to game. But we do talk about, we don't want to lose the rest of the year. I mean, our goal is to win a national championship, and that's the mindset we have.
What's this do for that tournament resume, you think?
I think it helps out a lot. I mean, I really do.
Yeah.
It affords us to, knock on wood, have a bad loss a little bit. But like I said, our mindset is not to lose.
No, I told Sterling, hopefully we get to see them again, right?
Yeah, I'm sure we will. I'm sure we'll see them in the conference tournament.
Yeah, that's likely the conference championship game if we see them again.
So
we'll certainly take that. Yesterday, SMU, led by Shimi Ojale, was just a pedestrian game for him, right? He scored 18 yesterday after he went for 30 points on Thursday night in Philadelphia. And for the second consecutive week, we've got the Conference Player of the Week. It was Sterling Brown last week. Shimi Ojale had an incredible week for us to get named Player of the Week this week.
Yeah, he did. Yes, Shimmy lives in the gym. I think our whole team lives in the gym, and they deserve that. Sterling and Shimmy and the rest of the guys, they deserve it because they put in a lot of extra hours on their own.
Shimmy's a guy who had to wait so long, it seems, to get to play here, a year and a half before he got to get on the court. How much was he itching to go when the season started?
He has waited a long time. He's gone through a lot. If when the year he set out when he left Duke, that's the year they won a national championship.
Right.
So I remember that night when I saw him in the gym that night after they won it, and the day that we had to talk because he wanted to play second semester last year, and we had to talk, and he decided to wait and keep 2 years, and so he's gone through a lot to get on the court this year.
I think he's a guy that, based off his physique, and he plays at the forward position, a lot of people expected he'd be back to the basket kind of guy, but he's a little bit of everything at the offensive end of the floor.
Yeah, I've known Shimmy since he was a freshman in high school, and I know that about him. And when he first got here, that's the first thing they look at him and they think that he's a back to the basket guy, but he's really a perimeter guy that can make shots.
He can play back to the basket.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot better. He's gotten a lot better at it, and he wants to do it. Now, he didn't want to do it, but he's gotten a lot better at it.
So yesterday's win, again, it was 60-51 over Cincinnati. That actually put SMU into the lead in the American Athletic Conference now by a half game over Cincinnati because they played one more game, 12-1 versus 11-1. And when you look at the schools in the league and you think who are the rivals in this league, it doesn't seem like it's a natural rival, but just given where the two teams have been and the battles you guys have had over these 4 years, that's got to be a team that everybody on your team is looking forward to see every time you get to play them.
Oh, yeah. Our guys are ready to play them at all times.
I mean, how much does it just pump the guys up that much more when they're able to take them down on a national stage like that?
Well, with them, like you don't understand how competitive they are. They're really competitive, and that's the team that beat us, and they wanted them, and they knew that. And the hardest game was the Temple game because, they were looking forward to that game. We're like, hey, we got to take care of business against Temple first. But they were looking forward to it and wanted to play that game. So despite what Tim says, the guys do look ahead. I think they do.
Tim tells us every week, no, we're focused on one, man.
We try to keep them in that mind frame, but they're young, and, they do that at times.
This is the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich, and again, we expect Coach here at about the next 12 to 15 minutes to join us for the rest of the show, and that will include the Ask the Coach segment. You can each week submit coaches for Coach Jankovich at SMUMustangs.com and hit the Ask the Coach button. You can submit them on Twitter with a hashtag of AskTim, or join us here in person each week at Humperdinck's on Greenville from 7 to 8, and you can submit it with our staff on hand. So we do have KT Turner, the associate head coach for the SMU Mustangs, was the assistant coach, one of the assistant coaches last year. So coming up next, let's talk about how your role has changed a little bit and kind of what all the other guys on the staff, what their roles are too. This is the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich here at Humperdinck's in Dallas.
Ruthie's Rolling Cafe, serving up the best grilled cheese in Texas. For 4 years in a row, Ruthie's has been voted the best food truck of SMU and Park Cities. Ruthie's is a crowd favorite among the ponies. You can find the food trucks rolling on SMU campus, SMU home games, and you can find them regularly at Clyde Warren Park. To book Ruthie's for a private party, visit their site at ruthiesfoodtrucks.com. Because after all, there ain't no party like a grilled cheese party. So, seize the cheese.
The Century 21 brand has become synonymous with one name, Mike Bowman, honorably distinguished to retain the #1 office in the world in closed transactions. Not just once or twice, but an astounding 16 times. And they continue to be a proud supporter of the SMU Mustangs. Discover for yourself how the dedicated team at Century 21, Mike Bowman, can make your real estate transaction the best you will ever experience at c21bowman.com.
Get closer to the game day action. Enter the Nissan Ultimate Access Sweepstakes for your chance to win a diehard fan experience. Enter at choosenissan.com/sweepstakes, and you could walk away with a win. Take on game day. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the SMU Mustangs. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Starts 2/10/17 and ends on 3/6/17. Open to residents of the contiguous 48 U.S. states D.C. 18 and over. Official rules. Visit choosenissan.com/sweepstakes.
If you're an SMU fan, you bring your game face to the game. But if you're an SMU super fan, your car brings its game face too. By wearing an official red and blue SMU toll tag. Because super fans know nothing says you pony up everywhere you drive like an NTTA SMU toll tag, just $19.99. To get yours, stop by SMU Parking and ID Services or any toll tag store location. The North Texas Toll Tag Authority. Get there smarter.
Hey SMU fans, it's never too late to score delicious pizza with Papa John's 8 after 8 deal. All through SMU basketball season, you can get a large 3-topping pizza for only $8 after 8 p.m. Great for game night or any night. Order online at papajohns.com with promo code 8 after 8. Pony up.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, official sponsor of SMU Athletics.
Not valid with other discounts, prices, participation, and delivery area may vary. Taxes and fees extra.
Are you serving or have served our country? SMU's Lyle School of Engineering offers master's programs and tuition reductions for military personnel across the globe. For veterans and those in the uniformed services of the U.S., our distance education programs provide a way to help engineer our nation's future. It's just one way SMU is saying thank you to those who protect and serve our country. Check it out at lyle.smu.edu.
Welcome back to the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich. I'm Rich Phillips, your host every Monday night from 7 to 8 here at Humperdinck's on Greenville in Dallas. Our coaches show is presented in part by the Sewell Automotive Companies. Visit Sewell.com to see the showcase of 9 premier luxury automotive marks. Sewell Automotive Companies, obsessed with service since 1911. Now again, Coach Jankovich on his way here. He had a high school game he was attending tonight, but we expect him here hopefully for the next segment. So Associate Head Coach KT Turner is joining me, and I bet you really want Coach to be here, right?
Yeah, I do. I want to give him a little break today, so I'm trying to help him out a little bit.
Well, KT, you were assistant coach the previous 3 seasons. You came the second year, right, with Coach Brown.
Yeah.
How has your role changed from being assistant head coach to now being the associate head coach under Jank?
Well, first, it was a really smooth transaction, from being around Coach for the last 4 years, and plus I played for him, so I've known him since I was 17 years old. But it was a real smooth transaction with that part. But a lot more responsibility, just making sure, we get the right guys in here. I have a lot more input with that. And like on the game day, if I suggest something, it doesn't work, I get a look. when beforehand, when it was Coach Brown, I'd tell Jank, I think this will work, and, Jank will get in trouble for it.
Right. So the guys let the associate head coach take the bullets.
Yeah, I got to take a lot more bullets now.
So you got some of the other guys, like I saw Jay Duncan here. He's giving you the suggestion, right? Passing that along, Brian?
Yeah.
You still have the scouting responsibilities the same as before?
Yes.
What other expanded role do you have? Is more in recruiting, more in the coaching side? What is it day to day?
A lot more probably coaching side, I would say. Recruiting's pretty much the same. That never stops.
Yeah.
Never ever stops. But like I said, coaching, in-game situations, when trying to calm Coach down at times, stuff like that.
He doesn't get fired up too often on the bench, does he?
He does now, more than you think.
He did yesterday, it looked like, a few times.
Yeah.
He did in Cincinnati last month, too, a few times.
Yeah, I've seen him get fired up. Yeah.
How much different is the makeup of the staff in general without Coach Brown here? And as you said, a pretty smooth transition because you guys have been here, but how much different is the way things are run on a daily basis?
I just think our staff now is a lot younger. We have Jay Duncan, who I think is a rising star in this business, who works his butt off, and he's a good recruiter and really good on the court. Sean Forrest is really well known across the country. More of a veteran. He's been doing it for 18 years. It doesn't look like it, but he has. But I think our staff's a lot younger and more aggressive in recruiting, I would say.
And that recruiting, obviously, there's already 4 guys signed for next year. But you said that's an ongoing, that's never-ending process.
Yeah, it never stops. That's every day. If you take 2 days off, you'll get behind.
What is the busiest time for you guys? There was a signing period in November. There's another one coming up. In April? What's your busiest time?
Yeah, the busiest time of the year is July.
Really?
Yeah, you're gone pretty much every day of the week during July.
Camps, more camps.
Yeah, a lot of camps, going to watch a lot of AAU games, stuff like that. I mean, you just nonstop, 8 in the morning, about 11 at night watching basketball games.
Did you know when you got into this business that you would have to be the salesman, I guess, that you are? You're a salesman, aren't you?
I try not to call myself a salesman, but I guess I am. But, yeah, my father was a basketball coach, so I grew up around it since I was 3 years old, so I kind of knew what I was getting into. My mom tried to talk me out of it when I told her I wanted to do it, but she couldn't stop me.
Seems to be working out for you, though, I guess, huh?
Yeah, doing good so far.
I was asking you what was the last scout you had. It was Temple last week. Your next one is not until the UConn game. How many of you guys and who all divides up scouting the next opponent?
Me, Jay, and Sean, we do all the scouts, so we divide them up. It's usually every other one, but sometimes it doesn't work out like that. And, we put a lot of hours into a scout. I mean, you watch maybe 6 or 7 games, and it takes an hour and a half, 2 hours to watch one game to really break it down.
Because you're not watching it straight through, I would assume. You got to go back and watch over and over on things.
You'll keep watching it over and over, and you'll get every little detail thing of what they do, the other team does.
So you got UConn coming up, which is a week from Saturday. When do you start really pouring over that?
I probably won't start into that until probably Friday or Saturday this week. I'll start on the ride down to Houston, so.
That sounds like fun. Getting ready to play Houston. You're already checking the team out, huh?
Yeah, we got Tulane, which their record ain't great right now, but they've been playing a lot harder. And Coach Dunleavy's doing a great job with those guys.
Yeah, that Tulane game is coming up on Wednesday night. That's an 8 o'clock start at Moody Coliseum. It's on ESPN3. And then Saturday night, 5 o'clock at Houston. That is on ESPN2. Well, KT, the boss is here. He has made it.
There he is.
So we're going to turn things up. KT, thanks for filling in for us a little while. Appreciate it, man. We're going to talk to Tim Jankovich starting up next here on the Fast Track.
Maggiano's Little Italy specializes in serving lavish portions of authentic Italian-American cuisine. The menu is large and varied, offering homemade pastas, signature salads, prime steaks, fresh fish, and memorable desserts. Maggiano's Little Italy treats you like you've been going there forever, even on your first visit. Not only do they have incredible lunches and dinners, they're also a perfect choice for a banquet of any size. Come as you are for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. We're a time worth having. At Maggiano's Little Italy, you get more of everything. Maggiano's is located at North Park Mall in Dallas.
Business is a game, and if you want to win, you have to be faster, smarter, and more focused than the competition. Which is why SMU Cox offers the Fast Track 1-year MBA, designed to launch your career in just 12 months. Learn from world-class faculty, study with driven peers, and connect to a global alumni network spanning 80 countries. The Fast Track 1-year MBA, a major career highlight, only from SMU Cox. More online at coxgrad.com.
You've decided it's time to organize the extended family reunion. But where do you start looking for all the tenting tables, chairs, and grills you're going to need? With one call to the rental experts at M&M Event Rentals, you'll learn about renting an event tent, tables, chairs, and linen, and even festive centerpieces, all from one company with decades of party experience. Visit them online at mmspecialevents.com and like them on Facebook to see how they can help your family celebrations. Get a jump on your winter holiday events and call M&M today.
Nothing works up an appetite more than a nail-biting, on the edge of your seat, fan-roaring Mustang basketball game. So after we swish that buzzer-beating shot, swing by Ruth's Chris for our 3-course menu, starting at just $44.95. Enjoy a complete meal that includes a starter, delicious entree, personal side dish, and, of course, some decadent dessert. Eat like a winner tonight and make your Ruth's reservation at our North Dallas location or in our new spot in Uptown at Cedar Springs and Harwood.
Get closer to the game day action. Enter the Nissan Ultimate Access Sweepstakes for your chance to win a diehard fan experience. Enter at choosenissan.com/sweepstakes and you could walk away with a win. Take on game day. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the SMU Mustangs. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Starts 2/10/17 and ends on 3/6/17. Open to residents of the contiguous 48 U.S. states D.C. 18 and over. Official rules. Visit choosenissan.com/sweepstakes.
This isn't going to work. No matter what we say, some people still drive drunk. But we're Budweiser. Giving a damn is what we do. So, if you think it's okay to drive drunk, if you think it's something that's debatable, or you just simply don't care, this Bud is not for you. Give a damn. Don't drive drunk. Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome back to the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich. It is brought to you in part by SMU's Lions School of Engineering, offering master's programs through on-campus and distance education options with tuition reductions available for military personnel across the globe. Check it out at lyle.smu.edu. And let's officially welcome in the head coach of the 19th-ranked SMU Mustangs, Tim Jankovich.
Thank you. Thank you.
I see they applauded for you this week.
They did, but there's the big applause sign, and they just followed the sign.
It's okay. That's
a lot
okay.
of people here tonight. My gosh, must be free beer night or something here, but glad everyone's here.
I think 60-51 over Cincinnati has a lot to do with it.
That's what did it.
That's what did it.
Good. We need more of those. But thank you for coming, and I'm not paranoid, but you've been talking bad about me while I'm gone.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I was just checking. I'm not paranoid or anything, but I just feel like you have.
KT was talking bad about you.
I know KT's been talking bad about me. He always talks bad about me.
Not me one bit.
And I do want to say thank you to KT for filling in here. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late, but obviously had some business to take care of. But hopefully you guys, well, I know the show's better with him on it, but hopefully you appreciate KT. He is an outstanding coach in our profession. I did have the pleasure of coaching him when he was young. He was a great player, but he's a great coach. You can't believe how much that he does for this program. And you know, a lot of times when you're an assistant, it gets unknown. That goes for our entire staff, which, you know, everybody wants to talk to the head coach, but I promise you there's a lot of guys doing a lot of things, and KT is a very, very valuable part of that.
Well, let's talk a little bit about yesterday. 60-51 final score over Cincinnati moves you up to 19 in the AP poll, brings them down from 11 to 18 in that AP poll. By the way, you're now in first place in the American, a half game ahead of Cincinnati.
Yes, we are.
And
can we stop here? We just stop?
Unfortunately, no. I think
I'm just checking.
There's a few factors at play that keep us going from here.
Okay.
I talked to KT about this a few minutes ago. Your thoughts when you see him rattle off 12 straight points early in the second half and you're down 9 all of a sudden at 40-31?
You know, in most teams and most years, I'd probably had a little more panic than maybe I did yesterday. And the reason is because these guys, they don't panic. You know, you've seen them. We've been through a lot of different scenarios, and they really don't change expression. They don't start trying too hard. They don't start taking a bunch of bad shots or gambling and doing the things that a lot of teams do when they do feel stressed. This team just has a good trust. You know, they trust what we're doing. They trust each other, and we've fallen behind before. And I think the biggest one that I do remember was at Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, we were in a rough spot there, and of course it's a hostile crowd. It's a great team we're playing, and that we really could have got buried there, and we came all the way back and had really 2 shots to win the game. You know, right in the end, one went in and out, and one we almost went in and we almost got fouled. And so I think that probably helped us. Yeah, maybe.
It was a good adjective you used.
Exactly. But I think that's just that's this group. So was I happy and was I overly confident? No, absolutely not. But not yet in a panic because there's plenty of time. As long as there's enough time, I feel good about our ability to come back.
And you did come back. It was a 21-2 run that put your guys in front to stay. The 21 looks nice. The fans get real excited about a lot what goes on to score 21 points, but the 2, that was what made it happen.
It was a 21-2 run.
Yeah.
I don't keep track of those things. I look at the scoreboard a lot.
Yeah,
I promise you that.
It changed a lot.
But I don't do the math very often. I just really try to just subtract. How far are we ahead? How far are we behind? Yeah. But that's amazing. You know, that is amazing. But the thing that I felt, and I don't know that I'm, is your memory always 100% accurate? I don't know. Probably not. But I can tell you this, that standing there watching the other end, which is when we were on defense the entire second half, particularly down the stretch for the last 12 or 14 minutes, was as tough and hard-nosed defense as I can ever remember being a part of, and to just completely shut them down and shut them out. A team that's as good as they are with what was at stake in that game, that was pretty powerful stuff. And I really felt it. I just kept looking down there and seeing our guys. It looked like, everybody was down in an unbelievable stance, and it felt like we just walled off, and they couldn't even penetrate 16 or 17 feet. They couldn't even get in there to get a good shot, and I was really proud of our guys. I thought they played so hard.
Jacob Evans, I think he hit 4 out of 5 maybe beyond the arc in the first half, and he hits 1 in the second half. What was the difference with the coverage on him?
Well, the difference is, without totally giving away in case Cincinnati's listening, although they can probably figure some of this out. It's no secret that we lack some depth, okay? And
really?
Yeah, a little bit. And,
okay.
And it's probably no secret that we're not exactly large inside.
Mm-hmm.
The strength of their team is they love to throw the ball inside to 2 very, very, very good offensive players, and they space extremely well with their shooters, and they're all shooters, and they play a little cat and mouse game with you. And so if you want to go double, or if you want to what we call dig or dive or cover down on the post, they're very, very good at finding the open guy and hitting what we call a step-in 3, and they have deep range, really deep range. So the shots that he was getting in the first half, in large part, was because we were trying to protect our big guys, and so we were doubling and we were diving down and we were digging, and we're trying to get to a point where we don't have to, but we don't necessarily feel like we want 40 minutes of that. So one of the many great things that happened during the game were Ben and Shimmy played forever without fouling.
Yeah.
And that allowed us to shift the way we wanted to shift and allowed us to play straight up, which allowed our guys to play, not allow their shooters just to get a skip pass across the floor and a step-in three. So now they actually had to create a shot, and that's why you saw the defense, because they couldn't create shots on us. And our post defense individually was amazing, and our perimeter defense of not allowing one bit of penetration. It was the best defense we played without question the second half all year long.
Yeah, I said it on the air at one point. There was a big square off between Ben and Kyle Washington, one of the two really good inside players. I said, that's two tough dudes going toe-to-toe right there.
Two really tough dudes. And Ben only gives up every night 25, 30 pounds.
Right.
But he gains it back in quickness and basketball IQ. He's as smart as there is out there, and he's quick. The quick feet. He's so experienced, and I'm telling you, it's really fun. If you just want to if you want to take your eye off the ball, which I know it's hard to do. We all ball watch, okay? Everybody ball watch. That's how you watch basketball. You watch the guy with the ball, but just take your eye off the ball sometime. Just watch Ben Moore if you want to have a good time. I mean, he's doing a lot of stuff out there. I'm telling you, a lot of stuff to help us win.
And then when I look at the box score, and I'll be honest with you, Coach, when I see Troy Copain goes 0 for 7 in a game, I'm kind of happy about that.
You're kind of?
Yeah, I kind of am.
Just kind of?
He's kind of been a thorn in our side for 4 years. And incidentally, they probably think the same thing about Ben Moore and Sterling Brown over in Cincinnati.
Yes.
But,
yes.
Boy, that's a pretty good job to hold Copain to nothing from the field.
For sure. Shake had the lion's share of that, but, of course, everything we do is team defense. He has had some big games. He's a lot of thorns in a lot of people's side, but that was big for us. He didn't get a lot of good looks, maybe one or two, and he missed. But the rest of them, we were really covering him, and that's a big factor. He's a senior with probably as many minutes experience as anybody on the floor.
And it winds up as a 60-51 SMU win over Cincinnati, and on national TV yesterday, and gets you to the feature game on national TV, no less, yesterday, and gets you up to 19th in the poll. So we're going to do your favorite thing, and we're going to talk some big picture. But also, I got to tell you how I stood up for you yesterday on Twitter.
Did you need to stand up for me?
That makes
me nervous.
I don't know if I needed to, but I did stand up for Jank, and we'll talk about that coming up next here on the Fast Track.
Thank you very much.
Hey, college football fans, you already know that we live in one of the great sports cities in the country. And folks here know the best place to watch the game in the Metroplex is at Humperdinck's, Dallas's original sports restaurant and brewery. At Humperdinck's, they know how to do football. Join the fun in Addison, Arlington on Northwest Highway, or at the home of the Mustangs, Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue, where they've been SMU proud for 40 years and counting. Great burgers, ribs, steaks, and more. They're serving food every night till 1:30 a.m. Check them out online at humperdinks.com.
Once upon a time, your car was a new car. All the latest features, that new car smell. But now, Bob has an even newer car. And your car smells like hamburger wrappers and wet dog. Bob's car has Wi-Fi. Outsmart Bob and finance your next car with Credit Union of Texas. Our competitive rates are your happily ever after. Experience more winning at CUTX.org. Loans are subject to credit approval. Federally insured by NCUA.
When it comes to your signage needs, trust the experts at Fast Signs North Central. With more than 50 years of knowledge, Fast Signs North Central will help provide you with a true turnkey experience. From branding and design work to complete production and installation, let Fast Signs North Central make your vision a reality by calling 214-890-4444 or find them online at fastsigns.com/11. Fast Signs North Central. More than fast, more than signs.
If you experience hip or knee pain, I know what you're thinking. Whew. And basically, you have two choices. You can wait until the gets so bad you can't stand it, or you can take the first step to living without right now at yourjointhealth.com. An online hip and knee assessment from the health system more people choose for joint health in North Texas. Texas Health. Visit yourjointhealth.com today.
Are you serving or have served our country? SMU's Lyle School of Engineering offers master's programs and tuition reductions for military personnel across the globe. For veterans and those in the uniformed services of the U.S., Our distance education programs provide a way to help engineer our nation's future. It's just one way SMU is saying thank you to those who protect and serve our country. Check it out at lyle.smu.edu.
There are Mustangs fans, and then there are Mustangs super fans who pony up with an official SMU toll tag. That's because nothing says hail to the red and blue everywhere you drive like an NTTA SMU toll tag. Just $19.99. To get yours, stop by SMU Parking and ID Services or any toll tag store location. The SMU toll tag from North Texas Tollway Authority. Get there smarter.
Welcome back to the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich. I'm Rich Phillips here from Humperdinck's on Greenville and Dallas every Monday night from 7 until 8. The show is presented by the Credit Union of Texas. Credit Union of Texas was founded in 1931. CUTX is proud to be your financial partner on and off the court. Experience more at cutx.org. Credit Union of Texas, a proud partner of SMU basketball. Mustangs with one home game this week. It's Wednesday night. It is an 8 o'clock start against the Tulane Green Wave. And then Saturday, we'll be down in Houston, a 5 o'clock tip against the Cougars. That one is on ESPN2. But much like the Tulsa game a couple weeks ago, we should see a lot of y'all there. It's an easy drive, easy flight on Southwest. So let's see plenty of you out there at Hofheinz Pavilion on Saturday at 5 o'clock. So yesterday, as I'm flipping through Twitter right after the game, I did see that the beat writer, Ben Baby for the Dallas Morning News, had tweeted out a poll around halftime. Who is the most popular person sitting courtside at the SMU game? His choices were two, George W. Bush and Tony Romo. Who do you think it is?
Oh, I'm not going there. I am not going there. No.
Well, I
can't hear the question. I can't hear. I'm sorry.
I didn't answer the poll because I responded it should be at Coach Jank SMU because he's 22-0 at Moody Coliseum, man. Come on.
That was nice of you. That was nice of you.
You should be the most popular person at Moody, shouldn't you?
You're very kind. No, but you're very kind. You're very nice.
It is fun having the former president there and wearing the mob shirt
yesterday. How about that? That was pretty cool.
That was really cool.
It's always surreal, you know. It's always, I got to tell you, it's surreal. I don't care what, you know, you look across the court and you know, former president of the United States is right there, like, into your game. And it's like, wow, this is just, you know, it's just crazy.
It's not just that he's there. He's not there with his legs folded and just giving a golf clap or anything.
He's into it.
I've seen him come over and join the band when he first gets there and take pictures holding the saxophone. I mean, he really is enjoying his time there.
Yeah, it's really, really a cool thing. I love it, and I never can get used to it. It just it floors me every single time.
Well, that was part of an electric crowd, a record crowd in the reconfigured Moody Coliseum, over 7,500 there yesterday. As I mentioned, the feature game on ESPN yesterday afternoon. It's ranked team against ranked team. It moves you now up to 19th in the rankings, right behind Cincinnati, who slipped to 18th, and keeps you in line for winning the regular season conference championship. What's it mean big picture for you?
Well, a lot. You know, we're chasing a lot of things right now and trying to stay narrow-minded, but of course, you know, we're not stupid and we are playing. There's a lot of things at stake. We're playing for a conference championship. We're playing for an NCAA tournament bid. We're playing for a high seed in the NCAA tournament. All these things go into it daily, but, you know, this is what you worry about as a coach. I wasn't worried at all that our guys would be ready to play Cincinnati. And I don't know if we're going to win or not, but I'm telling you, I was 100% sure that my job was to calm them down and not hype them up for that game. The ones that you worry about are the ones where they may just overlook it or feel overconfident or whatever, because they all count the same, and they can, you know, a bad loss can punish you just as much as a great win can help you. And so I knew we'd be ready for this one. It is one that we knew that if we could win, it certainly boosts our chances in every single thing across the board, and it has. But it also means that we have a lot more work to do.
Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to ask you. What does this do on the tournament resume? What did you think about your tournament resume before yesterday's win?
Well, I thought it was great, but that doesn't mean they did at all. You know, anytime you're beaten, right? We've beaten a lot of people that at least computer-wise, and I don't know how much that's going to matter, whatever, have a very good ranking. So we're in good shape there. And, of course, our record is very good, and particularly since, the end of November, it's very, very good. So, we've been feeling very good about it, but you just never know. And so this can only help us a lot. And for me, I know that seeding is critical. There's a lot of luck that goes in, too. I mean, you can have a bad seed and a high seed gets beat right before you, and all of a sudden you got a better path than you thought, or you can have a great seed and maybe a team that doesn't have one is a lot better than people realize. So there's some luck involved, but we're all fighting for the top spot we can, and obviously first we're trying to get into the tournament. But first things first, we are trying to win a conference championship.
And the win yesterday, that's 18 out of 19. So sometimes the question after you knock off a higher-ranked team, does that boost the team's confidence? Can your team's confidence be boosted much more?
That's a good question. We have wanted them to feel like you should not lose. That's kind of the message that we've been talking about, and I think in watching them, I think they feel that. I think they feel like they are now supposed to win. And if I had one thing, one of all the possible, how tall you are, how fast you are, whatever, all the possible ingredients you could have, the number one that I would always want to have in an athlete or a team or a program or whatever is confidence. I think confidence is the magic dust, and if you have a very confident team that believes they're supposed to beat the other team, most of the time they do. Unfortunately, confidence is not something you sprinkle on somebody or comes in a box or that you can hand off. It's kind of acquired over time, and obviously, the more success you have, the more confidence grows. But some people have, more innately. And so this group, I think, has a number of guys that have innate confidence. And as a group, we've kind of grown together and had a lot of success so far. And so I think that is all building. And I hope that our team is to a point where they don't ever feel like they're supposed to lose. So if we did lose, they would feel like, it was, my gosh, I can't believe this happened. And that's the mindset I want them to have.
Well, that mindset seems to be there. Again, winning 18 out of 19, including yesterday's big win over Cincinnati. It has SMU up to 19th in the AP poll this week. Let's do the Ask the Coach segment. That'll be coming up next here on the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich.
Are you really into chocolate? Do you know the plural of mousse? Would you gladly put your mole where your mouth is? Is drizzle always in your forecast? Can you fudge your way out of any situation? Are you really into chocolate? If the answer is yes, then check out Central Market's Chocolate Fest, February 1st through the 14th. Satisfy all your sweet teeth with hundreds of varieties of confection perfection. Plus, find new ways to love chocolate even more. Info at centralmarket.com. Visit our 5 DFW locations.
Highland Park and Preston Hollow Emergency Room, the official ER of SMU, and your neighborhood no-wait ER. With 2 facilities conveniently located near you, we're able to provide the Dallas area with upscale, quality care for all your emergency needs, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Visit HighlandParkER.com for more information. Highland Park and Preston Hollow ER. Pony up.
Hey, college football fans, you already know that we live in one of the great sports cities in the country. And folks here know the best place to watch the game in the Metroplex is at Humperdinck's, Dallas's original sports restaurant and brewery. At Humperdinck's, they know how to do football. Join the fun in Addison, Arlington on Northwest Highway, or at the home of the Mustangs, Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue, where they've been SMU proud for 40 years and counting. Great burgers, ribs, steaks, and more. They're serving food every night till 1:30 a.m. Check them out online at humperdinks.com.
I drive 310 miles one way just so I can have Sewell service my vehicle because I trust them.
What could possibly make people behave this way?
I go over there sometime just to hang out.
A manner of customer service you'll find at no other dealership.
You can't beat the service anywhere else.
I don't know what my next car will be, but it will be a Sewell.
Sewell Buick GMC, proud supporter of the SMU Mustangs. Visit us at SewellBuickGMC.com. Sewell, obsessed with service since 1911.
Nothing works up an appetite more than a nail-biting, on the edge of your seat, fan-roaring Mustang basketball game. So after we swish that buzzer-beating shot, swing by Ruth's Chris for our 3-course menu, starting at just $44.95. Enjoy a complete meal that includes a starter, delicious entree, personal side dish, and, of course, some decadent dessert. Eat like a winner tonight and make your Ruth's reservation at our North Dallas location or in our new spot in Uptown at Cedar Springs and Harwood.
Your neighbors get a new car. You get a better car. They went to a dealership. You went to Credit Union of Texas. Use the money you save financing with CUTX to buy something awesome, like a swimming pool full of money. Your neighbors don't have a swimming pool full of money. Now the Joneses are keeping up with you. Experience more victory at CUTX.org. Loans are subject to credit approval. Federally insured by NCUA.
Welcome back to the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich, Rich Phillips here at Humperdinck's on Greenville and Dallas from 7 to 8 every Monday night throughout the key basketball season. The Fast Track is delivered to you by Nissan. A win for your team is a win for you, too. There's nothing quite like it except driving a Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com today and take on Game Day Nissan, a proud supporter of college athletics. The Mustangs playing at home Wednesday at 8 o'clock against Tulane. Saturday, they're in Houston at 5 o'clock against the Cougars, and that one is on ESPN2 on Saturday as well. It's time now for our Ask the Coach segment. You can submit questions online on Twitter with the hashtag of AskTim or here at Humperdinck's every week during the show. And let's start off with Troy in Dallas, who says congrats on the big win. He was wondering what you feel you did better as a team yesterday compared to the first time that you played Cincinnati, and what was the key on your game plan adjustments for that?
Well, I just think defense. You know, we talked about it before. I think we played incredible defense the second half, and you know, the game there, they hit shots. They hit to start the game in the first half. They hit so many hard guarded shots. They were so warm that game. And it put us in the hole, and then we kind of settled down, but we had to throw some zone at them. We changed some defenses, and we were trying anything we could to try to get back in the game. So that one felt a lot different than this one. You know, once you've played someone, you do have a better feel, and you can make adjustments. And as I said before, the adjustment that we wanted to make, we didn't feel like we could make for 40 minutes. And maybe we could, but we didn't want to risk it, put it that way. We didn't want to risk putting ourselves in foul trouble early and then having to play, you know, from behind and playing on the defensive. So, you know, our big thing was eventually we wanted to just be able to try to guard them and not have to double down or not have to dig on the post.
And when you talk about the defensive effort against them yesterday, 51 points allowed, keep in mind they averaged 77 a game. That's not the old Cincinnati we're used to. They're an offensive team.
Yeah, that's why they're so good this year. They're playing the same defense they always have. And ironically, speaking of their defense, that, you know, they've always, the last few years they've played the matchup zone almost the whole game, and a matchup zone is basically just man-to-man and passing guys off and not really in your area necessarily. You try to stay in your area, but you find someone, the closest guy in your area. I guess that's the best way to say it. They've been playing that for years. They started out the season doing that, and then right before our game the first time, they just basically scrapped it. They went man-to-man out of nowhere. I want to say it was 2 or 3 or 4 games before we played. They stayed in that for the longest, and just recently they started playing a little bit more zone. Then, of course, yesterday they just decided, hey, we're going to play 99% matchup zone. So, they're a little unpredictable that way. But offensively, they are so much better than they've been. They're so much better than they were last year and the year before. They always struggled to score. Didn't have a lot of guys that could shoot the ball, and you could crowd up the lane on them. But this team, you saw early on how they could stretch a floor. You know, I mean, my gosh, they could shoot it from well behind the line, and they've got 3 or 4 guys that can do it, and their inside players are very, very good. So really, really a hard team to guard. You can look at their stats. You can break them down individually, and that's why I'm saying for us to hold them to 51, it was as good a defensive effort as I can remember for years and years and years watching, particularly in the second half. When, usually, here's another thing you watch, most halves are higher scoring in the second half than in the first half. If you just look at box scores, for whatever reason, to me, I feel like it's because people get tired. And when you're tired, the offense has a bigger advantage, just a half a step, and they know where you're going. I mean, you got to really be fresh to play great defense. So a lot of times people score more in the second half, and for us to hold them to 25% and whatever they scored 20 whatever points and 23 or whatever it was, 23 points on 25% shooting when we only are playing 6 guys and they're dead tired, I thought it was amazing. I really did. I thought it was amazing.
Well, staying with that defense, Tom and Irving notes that, of course, offense is what everybody loves to watch, but the defense, and it's not just yesterday. You're third in the nation going into yesterday. I know you were in points against at about 58. That's on the season, and he wants to know, Tom asks, what you have done to instill such a defensive mindset in your team, because guys like to score in this game too.
Yeah, well, but we're scoring. I think we're number 1 in the league or number 2 in conference games in scoring. So, hey, I like offense too. I mean, we're our numbers on offense are outstanding. Our 3-point percentage is above 40-some%. We're shooting, almost 47 from the field. Our free throws are good. In the conference, we have made more free throws than our opponents have even attempted. And so those are the kind of numbers you look at from the offensive end. So I feel like you got to be really good on both sides. That's what we're talking about Cincinnati. This year they are, and in the past maybe they haven't made as big a run in the tournament or whatever because they're, it's tough to score. But I don't know. We just we practiced. You practice, and we emphasize it. We emphasize rebounding probably as much as we emphasize anything. And I've said this before. Defense is more of a science. You can teach it more specifically, and offense is more of an art. I think you got to give guys freedom to play, or otherwise they have no fun. And I think you take their confidence. So really, our philosophy is to try to be really on point and be as exact as we can on the defensive end. In other words, there's a ball here and your man is here. There's an exact spot you're supposed to be, and we try to get there. And from the offensive end, we try to let them free flow a little bit more, at least when we can. And sometimes when it's not going so well, we'll try to call some set things that maybe get the ball to certain people or certain places. But these guys understand. They know what winning's about. They're smart. They're smarter than to think that you just go run up and down and you outscore people. That's fool's gold, and it never works over the long run in college basketball.
And then Kimberly in Dallas sent in a question asking, this is on recruiting strategies, how much are players you look at? Is it about talent versus finding players that fit what you want for your system?
Well, system-wise, I'm not sure that I would say, for me, I don't have a system. I don't want a system. I want every year to have a system for the guys that we have. So we don't have this book that says this is what we do every single year and this is how we play. In fact, if you've watched us this year, we've just changed as it's gone, and I think for me that's coaching. That's my job, is to figure out, okay, these are our guys and this is what they do well and this is what they don't do very well. So let's try really hard to hide the things that they don't do really well, and let's try to really accentuate the things they do really well, make them look like they do everything well. And that I don't think you can do that if you say, well, this is our system. So I don't have one. I don't really believe in that way of thinking, and maybe I'm wrong. What I do believe in is getting athletic players that can shoot the ball. The more athletic players that can shoot the ball that we can get on the floor, I guarantee you when we've got fast guys that can shoot, we're going to win a lot of games. And we got fast guys that can shoot on this team, and we're winning a lot of games. And so our system is now, put you guys in position where you can feel like you're kind of getting your game on a little bit. So I guess I would say it's a pretty simple philosophy. Good. Fast guys that can shoot and have some toughness, and we'll win.
Talent is what you look for. That's it, right?
Yes.
I support that. It's working out pretty well for you so far.
Good.
This is the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich as the SMU Mustangs prepare for 2 more games this week. Wednesday night at home against Tulane and Saturday on the road at Houston. We'll take a quick look at those 2 games upcoming next year on the Fast Track.
The patients have spoken. Texas Institute for Surgery has one of the highest ratings when it comes to patient satisfaction. Texas Institute for Surgery is a state-of-the-art physician-partnered acute care hospital that specializes in treating sports medicine, orthopedics, joint replacement, spine, and pain management, among many other clinical services. Texas Institute for Surgery, the first choice for care by physicians and patients. For more information, go to texasinstituteforsurgery.com. Texas Institute for Surgery is a physician-owned hospital.
Hi there, this is Jason Witten. You know, on the football field, I like to be known as the go-to guy. Just like Albertsons is the go-to place for beef, especially since they only sell the best. USDA Choice Beef. USDA Choice Beef at Albertsons is always tender, always full of flavor. So when you want a tender, juicy steak or roast, go to the go-to place for USDA Choice Beef. Albertsons.
Albertsons. It means a great deal.
Once upon a time, your car was a new car. All the latest features, that new car smell. But now, Bob has an even newer car. And your car smells like hamburger wrappers and wet dog. Bob's car has Wi-Fi. Outsmart Bob and finance your next car with Credit Union of Texas. Our competitive rates are your happily ever after. Experience more winning at CUTX.org. Loans are subject to credit approval. Federally insured by NCUA.
I drive 310 miles one way just so I can have Sewell service my vehicle because I trust them.
What could possibly make people behave this way?
I go over there sometime just to hang out.
A manner of customer service you'll find at no other dealership.
You can't beat the service anywhere else.
I don't know what my next car will be, but it will be a Sewell.
Sewell Cadillac, a proud supporter of the SMU Mustangs. Visit us at SewellCadillac.com. Sewell, obsessed with service since 1911.
It's our final segment this week of the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich. Time for a look ahead, brought to you by the Cox School of Business, offering the new Fast Track one-year MBA designed to launch your career in just 12 months. Visit coxgrad.com for more information. SMU up to 19th in the AP poll this week, and you finally voted for yourself in the coaches poll this week, huh? And got you in at 23rd.
Yeah, how about the coaches don't think as much as the writers? I don't understand that. I don't know. I was going to bring that up earlier, and I thought I'd let it go, but I'm glad you did. I don't know what's wrong with the coaches. You know what it is? They're not paying attention. They're paying attention to their own teams. It's like I tell you, I would be a terrible voter right now because I don't watch everybody else play. So, you know what? The coaches poll is not accurate. I'm just telling you. Coaches don't know. They're not watching other teams.
But at least we're in it this week.
Yeah, good.
It's good to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. All the polls now. Let's get in all of them.
Absolutely.
All of them.
Well, two more games coming up this week. First, at home Wednesday night, 8 o'clock against Tulane. This is a game that I bet makes you a little bit nervous because you talked about you want your guys to always be focused and not ever look ahead a little bit. And this is a game where your guys might take a little look ahead.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I'm glad it's at home.
Yeah.
You know, last time we played the same order, we went to Cincinnati and had the tough loss, and then the next game, as you remember, was going to Tulane, and that was really, really, I thought, an incredible challenge for our team as far as just emotionally and mentally to see if they could rise to that challenge, and they definitely did. We played pretty well, not great, but good enough to win the game, and here we are again with a little bit of a reverse, you know. Now you're kind of full of yourself, and everybody's, you know, this is the real danger is the more people patting you on the back on campus, the tougher the next game is always. I've learned that a long time ago. When everybody's patting you on the back, when you're ripe, when you're the most ripe is when it's the most dangerous. But having said that, this team so far has just jumped every one of those hurdles. You know, not one single time has the game started. And I'm telling you, usually as a college coach, there's a lot of games, a lot of years where there's several games that the game starts and you just know it's like, oh my gosh, we're so flat tonight. I don't know how we're going to work our way back into this. I haven't felt it one time. Doesn't mean we started great, but I never felt like we were disinterested or not ready to play, or, you know, not our concentration wasn't there. We might just have missed a few shots. So they've jumped every hurdle, and I hope they do the same Wednesday.
And then on Saturday, you go down to Houston. That'll be a 5 o'clock start from Hofheinz Pavilion. That team hasn't lost since they saw you last. They've got a 5-game winning streak going on.
Well, we were glad to help them out, for gosh sakes. That game is really, really bad timing for us. Just as you mentioned, well, I didn't know they hadn't lost since us, but they've won 5 in a row, I think.
Yep.
They're playing their best basketball. and they put themselves into that position now where they're maybe have a chance to make the tournament. Well, guess what would help them a lot make the tournament? So I would say that our game there, because of timing, shapes up to be their biggest game of the year without question. And so we just became Houston's Super Bowl.
Sure.
We're going to have to try to figure out a way to make it our Super Bowl, and it's going to be a really tough challenge.
And real quick, before we wrap it up here tonight, didn't get to talk to you about it, but Player of the Week for the second consecutive week comes from SMU in the American. What a week for Shimmy Ojale. He was good yesterday, but
That's
30
right.
and 10 on the road on Thursday night at Temple was
my
insane.
gosh, yeah, he was amazing at Temple and outstanding yesterday, and so deserved. But it's great that we're kind of dominating this thing. I like it, and we're sprinkling it around a number of guys, and it's well deserved. I'm happy for all of our guys.
When he was able to complete a dunk while being flagrantly fouled to the floor the other night, that was a man's play that he made right there.
I don't know why you would challenge him at the bat. I would not. I would take one good look at him, and I would go ahead and let him have the two. That's what I would do.
Pick somebody out that's
Call
got
me
a little
crazy.
bit.
Call me crazy.
Pick somebody out that gives up a little bit of weight out there, right?
Darn right.
All right, well, that'll do it for this week's show. Again, Wednesday night, 8 o'clock at home against Tulane, and then Saturday at 5 o'clock down at Houston. Congratulations again on a great week, Coach. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
For Tim Jankovich, I'm Rich Phillips. Thanks for joining us here at Humperdinck's every week.
From Learfield on the Mustangs Sports Network, live from Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue, the Fast Track with Tim Jankovich has been brought to you by Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Innovation that excites. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, proud sponsors of SMU Athletics. Credit Union of Texas. Be a part of something unexpected. CUTX.org. Experience more. Also by NTTA. Save money on North Texas toll roads with an SMU toll tag. Texas Institute for Surgery. Always providing unparalleled clinical excellence, care, and service for every patient. Texas Institute for Surgery is a physician-owned hospital. And by Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue with daily food and drink specials. Join the MVP Club today. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Mustang Sports Network.
Is my